This is Sam of Sambookery, and today I've got a new free printable for you guys. This is my new Ginger Frost collection, and it actually started out just making this free printable file folder for you guys, but I had so much fun, I went ahead and made a whole collection. These are for purchase on my website. This is the freebie. And I just wanted to do something cute and fun that's easily giftable for the holidays, but like quick and easy to make. These are in great blue tones. It's got a gingerbread theme with gingerbread houses, gingerbread man, little penguins and other animals. It's just super cute. So this I thought would be great. I know you guys love the file folder printables, and this one is great, especially this time of year, for tucking in gift cards or a little bit of cash and stuffing it into an envelope or into a Christmas stocking. So head over to my website, sambookery.com. I'll throw a link in the description to pick up this free printable. And while you're over there, if you want to look at any of the other Ginger Frost, I did make a kind of a quick one signature junk journal kit. It's only 20 pages, so it's super quick and easy to put together. I did another mini journal because these are just adorable. It's got a little gingerbread house on the cover, and another folio because these are fun. And then this is also a great size if you want to leave your dollar bills flat or put a long check in here or something. This is a great way to send one of those in the mail. So super fun. Also, I do have another kit coming out next week, Christmas holiday themed, but in pinks. So look out for that as well. I think they'll be really cute together, having the pink and the blue. And there'll be a freebie for that kit as well. But today we are going to do a full tutorial on how to make this file folder. So let me clear my space and let's get started making this little project. First, let's go over what to print out. Got all the kits in these handy plastic envelopes here. So we'll start with this cute free file folder. So here's the main file folder and the pockets. You want to print this out on cardstock. I use 80-pound cardstock for mine, and I backed mine with the blue watercolor kind of sky looking paper. And what you'll want to consider is when this folder is closed, what's on the back will show up on this tab once it's folded and will be over here. So that may influence what you want to put on the inside. And then it's also the background for your pockets and your ephemera. And then we've got the page of ephemera with all the tags and things. So that is on cardstock as well. So it'll be nice and sturdy. And I backed that with this cute craft paper gingerbread man print. So I thought that would be fun. If you want to be able to journal or write on the back of your ephemera, you might want to choose either this backing paper, or I included a lighter version. It's kind of mostly white with a little bit of light blue watercolor print. You can see them side by side. If you want to be able to write on the back of yours, if you're using them as gift tags or wanting to put little notes or something. So I included that. I'm not using it, I just printed this out to show you. But to make the kit, you really just need 2 pieces of cardstock and print on the back. So we'll get started making this in a sec, but I wanted to show you everything else already printed out because I'm going to get ready to cut it all up. And it won't look as nice. So let me just show you them printed out before I get working on them. So this is the mini journal. It's a 1-sheet mini journal. And this you print on regular printer paper. I use 32-pound paper for all of my things. And you don't have to back it, but I did back this one because I'm gonna make some secret pockets in it, and I use this print. It's kind of like snowballs or something. And then we've got all the tags and pockets and ephemera. I printed this on cardstock. These are so cute. Here's like the little penguin and the snowman. And I backed this one with that as well. And then we've got a couple, actually looks better this way. We've got a couple of coin envelopes and a bigger envelope with matching cards. And I printed that on cardstock. And then I used this navy blue print on the back just so we'd have some nice dark colors when you opened up the envelopes. So those are the pages from the mini journal. Here's the folio. So here's the folio on the outside, printed on cardstock, and the inside I chose this print, and mainly because you guys, I'm directionally challenged and I often have waste papers, when I print this out, if I have a directional print on the back, somehow it always turns up upside down. So I picked a print that has no like top or bottom or direction, so I didn't have to waste another sheet of paper. But I do save them. If I print them upside down, I save these and cut pieces out and use it in the kit anyway. But I learned my lesson. I'm just going to do non-directional prints on the inside. So here's the other page with the pockets, some journaling cards, and the mini folio. I did this on cardstock as well and backed it with a more neutral snowflake print. And we've got some ephemera, tags, tabs, tickets, all kinds of stuff. So cardstock as well, so it'll be nice and sturdy. And I backed that one with this snowflake print. And then we've got, I did something different this time. If you've seen my folio videos before, I usually print these mini journal pages on regular paper, like 32-pound paper. But I wanted to see, I'm not sure why I did that. And so this time I wanted to see if I did it on cardstock as well, how it will fit in the folio. The pockets, let me show you, are gusseted. So they can hold a lot. So I don't think having, if I'm going to tuck this into that pocket, I don't think it'll be an issue if it's made of cardstock. So I made this one on cardstock. It's not something I usually do, but I wanted to try it just in case you guys ask me, does it work? And I think it will fit just fine. So I'm going to go with that. And I just printed this neutral kind of tan plaid on the back of that one. And then here is the big journal kit. Here's the cover. I just love this snowman. He's so cute. So the cover is on cardstock. You do not need to back it. Here is the lining, cover lining. Don't need to back it. Here are the pockets, cardstock. Oh, cardstock on the cover lining. Cardstock on the pockets. Don't need to back them. And now we're getting to some of the things that need to be backed. So here is a couple of tags in a tag pocket. This one's on cardstock as well. And because when you fold this, whatever's on the back becomes part of this pocket. Either you fold this in this way and this is the backing and whatever's on the back becomes the front of your pocket, or you fold it the other direction and this is your pocket and whatever's on the back is visible above it. So I included this print as a backing paper so that we can have the same thing on both sides, and that way it looks really cohesive and cute. So cardstock, I backed it with the exact same thing. If you don't like this printer, you want to do something different, back it with something else because that's what's going to be visible right here. Some more tags on cardstock. And I backed these with a nice light plaid color. It's a print, but it's light enough you can write on it. So we've got journaling cards here. Super cute cardstock. And I wasn't going to write on the back of these, so I used the dark blue gingerbread man on the back of this one. We've got some square journaling cards here. Cardstock. And I used this dark blue snowflake on the back. There's a lot of options on what you want to back things with. We've got the first sheet of fussy cuts with some labels. Cardstock. You don't have to back these. If you're going to glue down all your fussy cuts, there's no need to waste your ink to print on the back. Because I made these oversized, I wanted them to be more like paper dolls that you can like tuck in and out of pockets. So I went ahead and backed mine, and I just did this neutral music print. And we've got some text, and I made them nice and big, just a few labels. We've got a cute coin envelope with a matching card, 4 tabs and 3 circles, and this is on cardstock. And then I backed it with the same music print on the back. And here's a second sheet of fussy cuts, and I backed these with this watercolor print, and this is on cardstock as well. And now we've got some of the journal pages. Let's see here. The journal pages I printed on paper, just regular paper. I like to use 32-pound paper for mine. Whatever you have, I like a heavier weight paper because I do double side them and I don't want the ink to show through. So here's the first page, and I tried to make these very usable papers. They've got lines, they've got grids. So if you just want to make a writing journal, you can just print this one and have lots of writing space. And I backed that one with this light plaid. This one is like the Gingerbread Man on craft paper. And I backed him with this plaid. And then we've got kind of blue snowflakes or ice crystals here. And I backed that with the blue watercolor. And we've got this nice deep blue. I did a grid on this one. And I backed it with this dark blue snowflake. And this one's so cute. I love this car with the trees. This one, and I backed it with the watercolor. And I just printed 5 pages for that journal. So that's all the papers. Just want to show them to you guys in case you are wanting to print and you need to know. That's always my first question. Like, what should I print? What should I back each thing with? And so I wanted you to have that information up front if you wanted to get those kits. But let's get going on assembling this. It's so cute. So there's really only 2 pages. This I just printed to show you guys. Don't need it. Since I printed it, I might do something with it, but all right, so super simple to make this. You just need to cut everything out. I like these scissors, a small pair of scissors for the fussy cuts. I didn't make them too tiny, but it is easier for cutting the fussy cuts to have a smaller pair of scissors. These are sized for a 1-inch circle punch, if you have that. And a scoring board is handy for scoring the lines on these pockets, and it's not really necessary for folding the journal in half because you're just lining up each edge. For the pockets, it's helpful. I think that's all we're using. I am going to use some ink, and I tried a few, and I think this coffee ink is my favorite color for this kit, so I'm going to use that. This is the Ranger Archival ink in coffee. And then if you want to get a hole punch to punch out, this is a little bookmark. And you can, it's a smaller hole punch. I think it's, let me look at my crocodile. It's one of these sizes. I think it's the 1/8 size, if you have a 1/8 size hole punch, but you can just use whatever size hole punch you have. It doesn't matter. And I did grab some embroidery floss because I wanted to tie like a little topper to the bookmark. And that's it. That's all you need to make this kit. So let's get started. First, we'll cut things out. If you have a paper trimmer, there are a few straight lines on here, but it's a small kit, so we'll just grab a pair of scissors and cut everything out. So I'm just cutting along the edge on this file folder, and then we'll fold it, and I'll show you what I was talking about what you print on the back side shows up on the tab, because when I was designing this kit, I didn't think about that, and what I chose to print on the inside did not look good on the tab when I closed the folder. So that's why I changed my mind and went with the blue. So it is, I don't want you guys to make the same mistake I did. It's not a mistake, but I didn't like it, so I had to reprint it. So that looks good. You can, there is a line here. You can score on it if you want, but to me it's more important that this edge and this edge line up. So I just flip it over and fold it in half. And I did not mention the bone folder. Always handy when you're doing paper crafts to have a bone folder. So see, this becomes part of the look, the visual look of the outside of the journal. So I think that looks cuter. What did I use before? I used the Gingerbread Man print. Is that on here? Yeah. And you know, he's big, so he got like cut off and the colors didn't go with the outside. So I liked this one better, but use whatever you want. Or, you know, if you don't double side print, it'll be white, and that's fine. There's white all over the cover, so that will still look good. So we've already made the base of our project. And now we just need to cut out the pockets and the ephemera. I do have a couple of paper trimmers that I love, and I do have a favorite supply list on my website. That's linked in the video description. As well as, I used to just put individual links to Amazon products, but because like sellers and links change over time, that was getting to be cumbersome. So I've just got like an Amazon storefront where I can organize into categories all the things I use over and over when I'm making my journals, and that you will see me using in videos. So if you guys ever have a question or you need a recommendation for something, they are there. And I put that link in the video too. Disclosure alert, I am an Amazon affiliate, so I may earn from qualifying purchases. You guys have heard that spiel before, but to me it's just handy to have a place to link everything. And then I can check that periodically, and if products disappear or there's a better price, I can link them, adjust the link one time instead of going back to all the videos and adjusting it. Now, I didn't design it with a notch here, but I did put this here to leave room. If you want to make the pocket a little easier to get into, you can slide your hole punch here. Is this a hole punch? No, a circle punch, and just put a little notch there. I think it looks cute. Not necessary, but just something I thought of. There is a good amount, I always turn things over to see what's left, of this paper here. If you're gonna do a closure, which I don't think I'm going to, but I do have these here, and sometimes we do like folio closures with the circles, especially if you don't want the money to fall out, if you're putting money in here or something, you can do a closure. So these bits, these scraps are good to save if you're needing to reinforce your circles. So I usually will hang on to these big pieces till I'm done in case I need to punch some more circles, or if you want to cut a label out of the scraps to add to anything, they're handy to have. So I'm just going to set those aside and hang on to them in case we want to do something with them. And then this is the only bit I use a scoring board for, and there's just white lines here, and we're just going to line them up and score so we can fold our tabs back. Just makes it a little bit easier. And I love these pockets. They're so nice. Adding these tabs makes them really gusseted and puffy, so you can stuff a ton of things in them. And if you guys have seen some of my junk journal flip throughs, you know I love to stuff a ton of things in my journals. So having these kind of pockets is great. I know it's fun to find ways to give kids gift cards or money for Christmas that's different, and I think this is a cute way. Instead of just sticking a gift card in their stocking, making this and putting it in makes it a little more fun and special. All right, so here's our pockets. Same as with anything you print out in junk journaling. If you don't like the front but you need the shape, print it out, print what you want on the back, and fold the tabs the other direction. Like if you wanted to use this little gingerbread guy and you really wanted him on a pocket, like a nice plain pocket, just flip it over. Or if you have a paper from another kit that you like. So I like these though, we'll go with that, but that's always an option. And that's all you needed the scoring board for. And you don't even need it, but if you have it, super handy. All right, let's go ahead and glue these pockets in, and we can let the glue dry while we cut out the rest. Let's fold these tabs back on our two pockets and just set the creases with the bone folder. Alrighty, so I do want to ink, so I'm going to ink after I folded the tabs, but before I glue it in. If you don't ink, skip this step. Just hang on. Hit fast forward. We'll be gluing in just a second. I got this like pack of a bunch of the tiny ones in different colors because I wasn't sure what colors I wanted to use. And I'll just buy the big ones of the colors I end up using a lot. But it's super handy, and it's like the right size for the dauber here, this little sponge thing. So glad I got those, and it was fun to try out different colors. So I'm just going around the edge. And I usually reverse fold and do the crease on the inside and on the outside. All right, that's all we need to do. And now we can glue these in. The way I do it is the big one on the left and the angled pocket on the right, because I like that the high end of the angle is on the outside. It'll kind of keep things from tipping out. If you put this here and you put something tall in it, there's the odds that the opportunity for it to like kind of fall out or lean out the front. So that's why I do it that way. But this is your project, and you can put these things wherever you want. You can put a pocket on the back if you want. But this is how I'm gonna put it together today. Tomorrow I might put it together different. That's what I love about junk journaling. Like, there's really no rules, and it's just all about playing and doing whatever you like. But I know when you're getting started, or you just want a project that doesn't involve thinking, it's so nice to have someone just show you like step by step how to do it, how they did it anyway. I definitely do projects like that in junk journaling and quilting and all my hobbies. Sometimes it's nice to have someone do all the planning and thinking, and you can just sit down and create and know it's gonna look good when you're done. So I'm just putting a little bit of my art glitter glue on the tabs. Make sure you don't get it over onto here. And just kind of centering it. There's plenty of room. You don't need to go all the way to an edge, but just make sure you're not getting super close to this center, because this adds a lot of bulk in the fold, and you want it to be able to fold nicely. Art glitter glue sets up in about 3 seconds, is what I always say. Or at least after 3 seconds. If you try to take it off, your paper is being torn. So it's pretty much good to go. But if you're using regular white glue, PVA glue, glue stick, you definitely want to let it sit a little bit longer before we stuff all these things in the pockets. So we'll just set that aside to dry, and we'll go ahead and cut everything else out. Let's see, I always try to like partition this. All right, these should be on a straight line here. So definitely if you have a paper trimmer, that's the first cut you want to make. I try, you know, I don't always get it 100%, but I do try to line things up so that you can use paper trimmer if you want to get things done quickly. And you know, it's more accurate than cutting with scissors for sure. At least for me. I'm not super good at straight lines. Definitely, well, I will say I was good at curves, but you know what? You know I cannot cut out those circles by hand. They do not come out as circles. But I don't think this looks bad when you cut out by hand. And that makes the project more portable too. Although, I will show you this cute, I keep this cute mini trimmer right here. I love the We Are Memory Keeper stuff. And I've got this cute mini trimmer, which is great when you're just trying to like cut one tiny piece of paper and you don't want to pull it like a giant trimmer. So this one is super handy. So I cut all the straight lines. I save the small or the curved edges to the end, and then I'll grab my detail scissors. Let me get this now. Anything small, sometimes I'll forget, and I'll like later I'll look for it. I'm like, oh, it's in the trash because it was so small I forgot to cut it out. So let's cut out this little tag here, or label. It is blank, so you can write whatever you want on it or stamp on it. And if you don't, wherever you're putting it, if you don't like this dark color, if you printed like one of the blue backgrounds on the back, you can flip it over and use blue, or just trace around it and cut it out of the blue scraps. So So I'll set him there so I don't lose him. These tags do not have holes already marked, but if you want to punch a hole in them, you totally can. And what I do, because eyeballing the center of something does not work for me, just grab a ruler or one of these cutting mats, and I just, let's see, I will eyeball between the 3 and the 5, right? I'm looking at this distance and this distance. That looks like the middle. And so then I will mark right here on the 4. And then that's when I will punch the hole. If I care about it being in the center. If I don't care, I just go for it. But usually when I do that, it is not in the center. All right, there's some more. And now this one has rounded corners, and you can just round them with your scissors. Or I will grab my corner rounder and we'll see which size it is. I know on the crocodile they only have 2 sizes, and it's going to be the smaller one. But on this one, let's try the small. Yeah, it's the small one on here too. We didn't get that all the way. There we go. Super cute. And I'll save these strips too in case I want to add labels to anything else. Let's... One more tip, because I've definitely not remembered to do this and been in trouble. Save the circles. Don't cut them out like tiny. Leave them part of the bigger piece of paper so you have something to hold on to while you're punching them out. Because if you cut around them into tiny squares, it's really hard to maneuver it under your punch. You should be able to do it, yeah, with no white showing. Oh, it's got to go this way. I don't know. I'm not going to make a folio closure on this one, but I thought these would be cute as like just pulls on the top of some of the ephemera. And then I'll just cut out this tree and put him over there. And that gingerbread. All right. And I didn't have this designed with rounded corners, but you can easily grab a corner rounder or just your scissors and round the corners on this one too. I think it just looks cuter with rounded corners. We'll just do it. Let's do it. I'll do medium ones on here to show you. So there's that with rounded corners. All right, we are done with the big scissors. Let's do the top of this bookmark. And the tip with fussy cutting, which sometimes I don't remember to do, but is don't move your scissors, move the paper. You'll get nice, smoother cuts. And here's our gingerbread man. I like fussy cutting. I think it's fun to have like interactive elements or just fun shapes. But if you don't want to do fussy cutting or that's not your thing, you can just cut these out. Just cut them in a square with a white background and just use them as like small cards or something. And I am not super slow and accurate on this, but you could be if you wanted to. That's why I try to leave. This one's got a nice cookie border, so you don't have to be super accurate. And then that's why we ink. So if you leave some white paper showing, you just cover it up. Gingerbread cookies are my absolute favorite, but I never let myself make them any time of year except Christmas. because they're like just so, the smell and the taste is just so Christmas to me. It doesn't seem right doing them any other time of year, but I look forward to making them every year at Christmas time. All right, we got this tree. Let's see. It's a little floopy here. Trying to plan out what cookies to bake this holiday season. So if you guys have favorite cookies that you always bake on the holidays, put them in the comments and let me know. Besides gingerbread, I'm definitely making gingerbread. But I have not made a ton of cookies in a while, and I'm having a hard time remembering all the ones I like to make. Chocolate crinkles I know were a favorite. Those are always fun for kids because it's kind of magic. You roll it in that powdered sugar, and then when it comes out of the oven, it's all spread out and crackled, and you can see the brown cookie underneath. I spent so much time one year making 2 colors of dough. I made a white dough and a red dough, and then I rolled them out, and then I twisted them together, and then I shaped them into candy canes. They look so cute on the cookie sheet. Put them in the oven and cooked them. When they came out, they looked so nice. I was like, oh my gosh, I made these great cookies. But oh my gosh, they did not taste good. I don't know if there was not enough sugar because, or they just the recipe to make the dough, you know, pliable enough to do that. I'm trying to find, here's a good hole punch. But man, they did not taste very good. But they looked very pretty on my tray of Christmas cookies. All right. Everything is done. I'm going to ink everything and be right back. Okay, everything is inked. This glue is dry. Let's put this together. I really like the front. I don't think I need to add anything here. Plus there's really no room. But this pocket could do with something. Let me just see. Be cute with this gingerbread man here. Or the tree. You know what'd be cute? You know what? I had a sample one, but now I want to do something different. I think we're going to make a pocket for the gingerbread man to come out of. Let's do that. All right. So I want to put a pocket on this tag here. And I'm just using scraps that I saved from cutting out the kit. Okay, that's crooked, so let's see if it's straighter. Yep, I told you guys. Let's get this cute trimmer. I knew I mentioned it for a reason. This is what I do with it, because when I'm trying to like cut scraps in a straight line, it just doesn't work. I can't do it. All right, there we go. Let me ink this. Oh, wait, before that, I did want to put a little notch in this pocket. I think it just looks cuter and makes it a little bit easier to access what's inside. Alrighty, so I thought we would stick this pocket on here, and this little guy can come in and out. Oh my gosh, so cute. So yeah, I definitely want to put the tree here. We're gonna do that. I kind of plan everything out before I start gluing because I can change my mind as I go. And even though I think I know how I want to do it, I always have new ideas. So let's just see, where's this label? Here's this little label. That might be cute here because this is a big pocket. It needs something else. So I kind of like that. We're going to tie some of this on here. And then I've got these two. I'm not going to do that folio closure, so I think I want to just add this as like a topper to this card. and maybe to this one. All right, so I think that's good. Let's start gluing. So I just apply glue to the bottom half of the circle and then overlap it. And I just check the back to make sure glue's not coming out right here. If you want, you can always put a second one on the back to make it double-sided. But since I did print on the back of this and it's the same paper, I think that looks totally fine. Let's put one on this house too. I'm trying to figure out if there's a top to this. We'll go with that's the top. I don't think there's tops to snowflakes, are there? There might be to snowflake cookies. All right. There's those. Let's put this little pocket on this tag. It's fun to think of like creative ways to use the scraps too, so you don't have to waste too much paper and your ink cutting out the kit. All right. Oh, that's so adorable. Okay. Oh, and over here, let's put the label down. Now, I don't know what I'm going to write on there, honestly, and I usually don't write. I usually will grab like a date stamp and just stamp a date if I don't have words I want to put on there and just random numbers. But this would be great if you've got those little sets of alphabet stamps and you could stamp somebody's name on there, or just like a holiday sentiment. All right, that looks good. All right, I think that's all we're gluing, right? So let's make a like tassel top to this bookmark. I don't think you can ever have too many bookmarks. I have a pile of them, but I usually have lots of books going at once that I'm like referencing or reading. How much do you think we need? We'll go with this much. And we'll just that should be good. And now we'll just fold it in half and pop it through here. Hopefully, I punch the small hole. If my threads don't fit, I'll just punch the big hole. But okay, they fit just fine. And this is just variegated DMC embroidery floss. I don't save the numbers, but this is like kind of lavender to like icy white to teal. All right, that looks nice. Should we trim them even? There we go. All right, let's stuff these pockets. Let's start with the tall things. Should we put this here? I kind of know. I think we're hitting the... I think he should go over here so he'll be a surprise, because that's kind of cute, because this is like the present and I'm hitting that bottom gusset when I put it in. There we go. So that's the present, and when you pull this out, then you will see the gingerbread man. Super cute. And I will put this tag in here too. Just kind of at an angle. And we've got this little reindeer. All right, and then I did want to show you like gift tags totally fit in here. Whoops, I got in the pocket. Let's layer. Oh, I wonder. No, I'll leave this like that. So, and there's like a ton of room in this pocket. You could stuff like multiple gift tags, or if you've got cash you want to include in here, totally fits. Look how cute this is. All done. Super quick and easy. It'd be fun for like a mass make for all the grandkids or all the kids in your your student's classroom. I mean, don't give them all a bunch of money, but I remember doing that when my daughter was in the younger grades. We'd always have different holidays. We'd always bring something for every kid in the class. So we'd set up like an assembly line, making like little gift bags for Halloween or whatever the holiday was they were celebrating or event. So this would be a fun thing to do for that. Super cute. Hope you guys had fun making this. Don't go away yet. I want to show you the other freebie I made because I just had too much fun making stuff with these graphics. So these are the gift tags that I created to go along with this kit. I thought these would be super cute to customize your own presents under the tree. I know I grew up with a sibling and my parents were always trying to find ways to differentiate what was theirs and what was mine. So it's really cute to have like tags that, okay, all the gingerbread men are yours, or all the blue tags, those are yours. Don't touch any other tags. These ones are yours. These are also a great size to fit into a lot of the pockets in these kits. And don't worry, I have another kit coming out next week that is similar, but in pink colors. So if you are trying to label gifts for various family members, I do have more gift tags coming. I've also got a sheet up if you want to make your own. I have got just the plain background with a neutral colored to and from and no images. So if you guys, let's see if I have that. I think I do. Yeah, I started cutting it out, but it's just neutral background, but lots of fun, different textures and layers. And they come out looking this size. And that way, if you have stickers or your own Fussy Cuts, your own theme for your Christmas, like, you know, that's not blue gingerbread cookies, but you want to make these tags. I have these up for sale on my website too, if you just want some neutral tags. But I just love these, they're super cute. So let's cut a couple out and see how they fit in this pocket here, because that might be nice to have a to and from tag in the gift. It helps the kids remember when they're writing thank you notes, who gave them what, right? Gosh, I remember on Christmas, I'd have to sit down with the notebook and the pen, keep track. So when my daughter had to sit down and write all her thank you notes, we had a list. All right, so here's a cute little snowman. I think these are just regular hole punch size. Yeah, super cute. You can use embroidery floss on this too. I usually tend to use like yarn, or I've got this cotton ribbon that will look super cute. But if you're tying it on, these are cute to tie onto the handle of gift bags. Definitely just use something thin, like a string. But if you're tucking it in somewhere, it's kind of fun to have something a little thicker. Let's see if I cut this long enough. All right, let me clear this, you guys. It's a mess here. Does your desk get like this when you're crafting? Okay, there we go. So there it is, super cute. And this is just, I think it's like a 1/2 inch or 5/8 inch wide cotton ribbon. That is adorable. And now you can just double sticky tape this onto a present if you're wrapping in a box, but also just tie it on with some string to a gift bag handle. But let's tuck it in here. Oh, that's so cute. And it would show, as soon as they open it, they would see who it was to and from. Super cute. I don't know why this one's peeking out. There we go. All right, so make sure you go over to my website, sambookery.com, grab this free printable, grab your free gift tags. Super handy to have if you want to check out anything else in the collection. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. Hope you guys had fun creating with me today, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.